Amazon's Fitness Magazine, celebrate the female physique, amazonsfitmag.com. I'm Glenn Young, and I'm on set. She is a NPC head judge. She is an NPC bikini competitor. She is a microbiologist graduate, or has a degree in microbiology. She is a promoter, and she's also on the January cover of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Nikki Politi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
So glad to do the shoot today.
Yes.
Good to see you as always. And especially since the January cover is out and everything's going well. Everybody seems to love it.
I love it. Yeah.
So you have so many roles.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of them. Talk to me about, everybody knows Nikki Politi, the NPC bikini competitor. But talk to me about Nikki Politi, the head judge. Nikki Politi, the promoter.
Okay. All right. So the head judge. I got into test judging. That was right after, as soon as we started back up during COVID. So 2020, I started test judging. Gary Udit let me test judge my very first show in Maryland, which was in March of that year, and I fell in love with it. And we continued to test judge, and then once I passed a certain amount of tests, I became a side judge. And then in Virginia at my best friend's show, Skylar Lanier, at her show, Gary let me try head judging. And I was right next to a close friend of ours, Jerry Ward, who taught me bits and pieces about head judging, and also Gary. And they were happy with it. And then I started taking over on the eastern side of Pennsylvania for head judging over there, and I love it. I love judging. It's really fun. Yeah.
How do you measure that? Does that make you a better competitor?
Yes.
Doing it from both sides from the stage and then down in the pit, as we say?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's interesting because as a competitor, when you're on stage, you can only visualize how you see yourself so much. So you'll get feedback from the judges and you'll see your stage pictures. But when you're actually sitting there looking at somebody, it's a whole different perspective because you're then nitpicking the littlest things that will change someone from first and second place. And I'm like, wow, as a competitor, I never even thought of something like that. Like that really did matter. So there are the little things matter, especially when you're judging, and especially the view that we have is totally different than when you see your stage photos, because your stage photos are dead on, but as a judge it's on a different angle,
as well as the audience too.
Yep. So it's it definitely made me a better competitor because I also see more so what the judges are looking for and what they're not looking for, like worried about certain things on your body and like how your hair looks, jewelry, like little things come into play.
So many times the audience can be dead wrong because we're real fans.
Yes.
But what goes into it when y'all jockeying for this, you're moving them around, is that just showmanship, or y'all actually say, let me get one more look because,
No,
before I make my decision? It
really is us trying to figure out who is best for that placing. So if we have somebody lined up, first, second, third, and we switch first and second in our eyes, it's like, okay, let's just see how they look. I don't want this to sound bad, but like I'm not really caring what the audience has to say because I have to focus on what's in front of me. So there have been times where the audience in back of me will be like, screaming and screaming and screaming for their friends and family on stage. But when I'm looking at these athletes, my side judges will be like, okay, maybe we should switch first and second just to compare, see how they look side by side. You turn them around, do their poses, and then we're like, no, the other girl or guy goes the other way, and we'll switch them back. We're like, okay, we're good to go. Everybody agrees. Scorecards are sent.
Talk to me about Nikki Politi, the promoter.
The promoter. I started promoting. We started the COVID year, and then obviously with COVID, everything got shut down. Which gave us more time to perfect the show for 2021. That show, the Pennsylvania Muscle, has taken off. Me and Gary are so proud of the little show we've created.
And based in
Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This year it's August 12th. It's at the Lancaster Marriott. What's so cool about our show is that, you know, the prize packages that we give to these athletes, the sponsors make this very, very possible to do. The overall winners get a gift card from Aries Nutrition, and I'm talking like over like a ridiculous amount of money they get. Six Pack Fitness gives out meal prep bags. We had a physical therapist give out free consultations. We had aesthetics belts give out championship belts for powerlifting. The sponsors really go above and beyond for the athletes, and on top of all that, the overall winners get a free entry into North Americans, which is 2 to 3 weeks later from our show. So last year we had, I think it was, out of the 9 overall winners, we had 5 go into North Americans right after that. And then I know 2 or 3, off the top of my head, 2 or 3 of them were in that first call outs. So it's a big deal because our head judge, Bill Sibilia, is also on the panel for North American. So he literally just saw them 3 weeks ago.
And so getting in front of the same judge, believe it or not, it does create a bias in the judge's mind. Not bias in, this is where I'm going to grade them, with bias in, okay, I've seen her before. I just saw them, And but it could have the opposite effect too.
It could. There's times where I've seen it happen where, 1 month I'll see somebody compete and you remember their look. I have no idea who these people are, but I'll remember a certain look, and then a month later I'll see them compete again. I'm like, oh, she looks better. Or, oh my God, what happened? They look worse.
You didn't take none of our advice.
Yeah, you didn't listen. Like that happens more times than not, where I'll actually tell people. The biggest thing the most common feedback I always give people is to grow.
Right.
That's usually the biggest feedback I give. And people have a hard time listening to that. They want to compete. Don't get me wrong, I love to compete too. But you can't just keep doing that just to get on stage.
She's wrong. The judge doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they gotta grow. A lot of times you just have to take time off. The stage is not going anywhere. It was there during COVID.
Yeah.
So.
Talk to me about Nikki Politi, the model, cover model on the January issue of Amazon's Fitness magazine. Yeah. But how did you come into modeling, and how does it all connect? And obviously it all does connect you from being a bikini competitor and as a judge as well.
Yeah, so it's funny that we just spoke about this. I started modeling for a company that my mom used to work for, doing basically school photography. So all the pamphlets that you'd get, like when you're in school, would be like, oh, this is what your class picture is going to look like, and this is what your graduation picture is going to look like, was what I was doing. And then after high school, I went into acting school. And I started getting, I started getting modeling jobs.
Okay.
So I didn't get acting jobs; I got modeling jobs. So I guess I wasn't the best.
That's
actress.
great. I did not know that.
Yeah, I went into acting, and Lord and Taylor picked me up, and then UGG picked me up, Lancome, a couple other ones, and I started modeling for them. And I was into fitness, but not nearly as severe now. And I started modeling for Lord & Taylor's workout gear, and then tech gear, and a couple other companies, and then bodybuilding took off. So I just went in that direction.
It really makes you well-rounded.
Yeah.
And then my favorite, you are one of 3 of Business in Bikini.
Yes, I am.
Look for it on YouTube. Love the show. When's the next episode coming out? How did that all come about?
So that was created by Gary Udit. He gets credit for that. And J.M. Mannion films it. And it's mostly me. And then obviously Etzla and Skylar get athletes questions too. But because I also spray tan, a lot of these athletes will ask me questions. And me and Gary were talking about it one day. And to promote our shows and to promote ourselves and put awareness out there to basically true novice competitors, where are these athletes going to go with questions? So we decided to come up with Business in Bikini, and it's basically all questions that true novice athletes have. And at the same time, even if you are an experienced athlete, how to juggle competing, meal prepping, bodybuilding, lifting, all this, going to shows, traveling, with a social life, with work, school, outside activities. How do you juggle all of that? Because for me, obviously, you know, like head judging, spray tanning, going to school, going to work. I have a lot on my plate, trying to have social life. Skylar, you know, she has the shop gyms. She's also a promoter.
Love Skylar.
Skylar has...
No, all three. I mean, out of the day, you're my favorite. Yes.
Skylar has her 2 shows. She has the shop gym. She competes as well. And then Etala,
and she's a promoter as well.
She's the promoter for the Warrior and the DC Pro-Am. And then Etala judges, and now she has a swimwear line. And
yes.
Yep, and then she was competing also. So all of us have different roles outside of stepping on stage. So we bring that knowledge into Business and Bikini, and we are filming in 5 weeks. Nice. Yeah, so a new series is coming out.
What can you tell me about what's going to be the lead topic?
So because it's been so long since we filmed, because our schedules are so crazy, and we've had such a hard time trying to find a date to get down and film. And then in the midst of that, it was like, you know, Jam was filming The Road to Olympia and The Road to Columbus and all these other things. So it was very difficult for us to find a day.
So Jenna, what's going to happen in the new season of Business and Bikini?
So we have many questions because we haven't filmed in a while. So we're going to have questions all the way from when I spray tanned at North Americans in August up until now. So I literally have on my phone saved like 30 questions from athletes.
Wow.
So it is such a variety of questions, all the way from what is the best suit color to wear on stage, all the way to, is it true that you have to be a brunette to win a show?
Wow. So that's a myth, right?
Yeah, it's a huge myth.
Why would they say brunette over blonde?
I don't honestly...
I mean, blonde or any... I mean, what's the draw to brunette?
I don't know if there's... I think it really just comes down to... It comes down to an overall look. It's always an overall look. So if you're, for example, Jen Dory, right, is naturally curly, big, beautiful hair.
She's a brunette.
She's a brunette. She rocks that look. That's what fits her. Then you have somebody like Ashlyn Little, who has naturally wavy blonde hair, and she's winning shows left and right. That is her look.
Now you got people going to have to do the research. Let's go back to the Olympia from 2020 all the way up to now. Who won? Bikini. Oh, blonde, brunette. So,
yeah, I know. It really
it's amazing what people gravitate to.
They do. But I think at the end of the day, whether it's bikini, figure, body, but whatever it is, you have to bring your own look. You can't copy anybody else's. So if blonde works for you, blonde works for you. It all depends on you.
What about hair color though? So if they were blonde, and now you got something thinking the myth, well, I gotta go dye my hair.
People do.
Yeah.
People
oh
do.
wow. Okay.
They do. I've heard it before. People will come up to me like, "Well, I dyed my hair because I heard that brunettes do better," and I'm like.
And that's the first thing you gravitate, like, wow,
yeah, I'm like,
what's different?
Yeah, like you should have changed your suit color, not your hair color. Like, but oh well.
Well, I appreciate you sitting down with me as always.
Oh, you're welcome.
Nikki,
Thank you.
Always enjoy shooting with you.
Thank
We
you.
definitely got to do it soon.
Yes, we will.
Again, and so yeah, appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
She's the January cover of Amazon's Fitness magazine. Make sure you subscribe to Amazon's FitMag.com to see it, or you can still order your copies. I have a few copies left. If we have to do a reorder, we can do that as well. This video is brought to you by Phase Up Nutrition. Against all odds, phaseupnutrition.com. Phase Up Nutrition was the very first sponsor of Amazon's Fitness magazine. And of course, Maximus Posing Suits, our newest sponsor. Celebrate your inner warrior. MaximusPosingSuits.com. I'm Glenn Young. Until next time, for Nikki Politi.
Yes.
Bikini competitor. NPC head judge, model, promoter, Business and Bikini, which I love. Look for that coming up on YouTube soon.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.